Headaches while fasting. Why do we get them? How do we get rid of them? That's what I want to talk about today. A few of you have written to me and asked this very question. It's a very common experience for people who are just starting out fasting and for regular fasters as well. A lot of people say, and some of you have written to me and said that your first few fasts have really been marked by harsh headaches, even like migraine level headaches. And so I want to address some of those issues today. Like I said, it's very common. Headaches are like one of probably the most commonly reported side effect of fasting, negative side effect of fasting, along with dizziness, nausea, general fatigue, weakness, things like that. Just really common thing. And so for myself, my own experience, I'll mention that first. In my first couple fast days, I had some very slight headaches, just dull headaches. And this is subjective because my headache is not your headache. But just dull headaches, not kind of like what I would get if I ate too much sugar. Like a lot of times I would eat too much sugar at night and wake up the next morning with a headache, and it would just stay with me all day long and just make me feel really fatigued and down and just sap me of energy. It's just my first few fasting headaches were kind of like that. They were something that I had to get through. And but after probably by my third fast day, my third alternating fast day, they were gone. The symptoms were gone. And the only time that I've really experienced those symptoms since then is when I extend my fast. So if I do something crazy, if I go from 24 hours to 36 hours, let's say, then I may have a headache. Sometimes I don't, but sometimes I do. Or if I go, like right now, I'm at the end of a 60-hour fast. I'm assuming it's the end. I may not actually break the fast because I feel pretty good right now. But towards the end of a longer fast, I found whenever I'm pushing my body past what it's used to, it pushes back just a little bit, and it will. I'll have a headache, or I'll have some of the symptoms that I had in the early days. Okay, so why do we get headaches? The number one reason that everybody, general population, gets headaches, whether they're fasting or not, the number one reason people get headaches is because they're not drinking enough water. It's dehydration. It's funny, like I see people all the time on health websites, they're so worried about water intoxication and drinking too much water and overhydrating. The people that have really died from that are like super athletes, marathon runners and stuff who were drinking too much water. They lower the sodium in their body too quickly. It's just too saturated. And they pass out, and a few have died. So it makes headlines, it makes the news, and then everybody's worried about drinking too much water. Let me tell you, the vast majority of people are not in danger of that. They're drinking too little water. And, so that's the first thing, that's the number one cause is dehydration. When you fast from food, you don't realize how much water is in your food, and you don't realize how much water you use every day doing nothing. Just breathing and making this video, there's water leaving my body. And everything takes water. All the processes of our body rely on water. And when you stop eating food, you're not putting that water in from your food, and you don't realize how much it is. You must increase the amount of water that you drink on a fast day. You must. If you don't, welcome to headache land. That's just all there is to it. Another thing is that when we're used to a ton of sugar and salt in our diets, and then we go for a day without that sugar and salt, we feel that in our body. Sugar creates a withdrawal, our blood glucose drops, and in that period, while our body is learning to adjust and make the transition to ketones and fat burning, we go through that period there where we don't feel well. And the body is like, our body, when we first start a fasting regimen, is going, what are you doing, man? Or woman, as the case may be. It's just like, what are you doing? This is not what's normal. Your body always wants to get to a certain set point and have what's normal. And so when I quit sugar, for example, I feel the effects of the withdrawal. I feel a headache. I feel nausea. I feel dizziness. I feel like I want to lay down. I feel like I want to eat sweets. You better believe that. And it's the same with low salt. You know, if your fast goes past 24 hours, your body starts to lose salt. You know, a fancy term for it is electrolytes. You may have read that in the health magazines or health websites, electrolytes. And so we need to replace that somehow. But the main thing is that your body is just adjusting. It's going through a period of adjustment from switching to glucose and carbohydrate as a primary source of fueling the metabolism of your body to switching to your fat storage, okay, your ketones, some people will call them. And that is a process that we go through that takes a little while. And understand, this is not just a problem for fasters. This is a problem for people who do weird juice cleanses. And if you've done those things, I'm not putting them down. I'm just saying that it's common for people who are detoxing to report these same kinds of issues. So detoxification that fasting represents and that it does work in your body can bring about this, what's called a Herxheimer effect. If you want to Google a big word and you think you can spell it, Herxheimer reaction. Herxheimer. See, I wrote it down beforehand. A cleansing reaction, okay? A healing crisis, sometimes it's called, that's in the body whenever the body is detoxing. It's the reason I have this weird film on my tongue. That's from 60 hours of fasting. Look at that. Pretty righteous. It's the reason we get bad breath. It's the reason we sometimes get headaches and feel like crap while our body is going through that process. And if you've ever been through any sort of detox process, you know that it ends. It has an ending. But we can feel like crap as that transition is being made. So what do? What are the remedies? You know, for whatever reason you get a headache, headaches are difficult because people get headaches for 10,000 different reasons. You can get a headache just from stress. Okay, so what do? First thing is, take it easy with the coffee. Drink more water. That's the first thing. Drink more water. That could remedy. Someone emailed me not too long ago. A lady emailed me and said that she was getting these big migraine type headaches in the afternoon. I said, "Are you drinking enough water?" And she said, "Maybe not." So that's the first thing to address. That may fix the problem right away. Drink more water. Another thing you can do is try some mineral waters to replace some of the minerals, the electrolytes, the things that are lost in our system, especially salt. Some of the things that I like, and I've mentioned before, San Pellegrino. These are just things that you can get in any grocery store. Perrier, another famous brand. Not a sponsor. I'm just throwing you out some ideas. I also like Smart Water. I like these. I like the fizzy kind. It's got bubbles in it because that just kind of puts something in your stomach. So I drink this. I've actually been drinking this morning. Another thing you might try that does not work for me but might work for you is Powerade Zero. Powerade Zero has electrolytes, it has sodium, it has potassium in it, and 0 calories. The only warning is that I will give is that it has sucralose in it, and that's why it won't work for me. It's an artificial sugar, and it triggers hunger. So for me, it doesn't work, but for you, it might. It might help alleviate those headaches just by putting the sodium and potassium in there, take the edge off. Another thing you can do is pay attention, especially when you're first starting out, to what you're eating on your feeding days. Okay, make your fast days easier by eating low carb on your eating days. The reason this is important, especially when you start out, is if you're eating a lot of carbohydrates, so you're slamming that pasta and potatoes and rice and cereal and sugar and bread and beer and all the stuff that I love and pizza and ice cream. So you're putting all that in your body. Guess what? It's going into your muscles. It's recharging the glucose that's in your muscles and in your liver. And so it slows the process of switching to fat burning. So you want to teach your body to adapt to fat burning faster. So the way to do that, at least at first, just go a week or two without the crap that you love. Just try it for a couple weeks as a way of mitigating and transitioning, helping your body transition faster. Just try to go low carb for a while. Try to eat more healthy fats, meats, eggs, and lots of vegetables. and just sort of cleanse the system out and teach your body to transition faster, because it will. And as I've said from my own experience, it took about a week, maybe 3 fast days, and then I didn't notice symptoms anymore. So that's just an idea I'm throwing out there. Try to go low carb to teach your body faster. You know, another thing, you ain't gonna like this, y'all. Suck it up and weather the storm. Just try to distract yourself if you can, you know, unless this is like excruciating, you know, an alien's about to bust out the top of your head or something, or come out your nose or something. Try to weather the storm. Just try to get through it. Understand this is a process. It's not going to last forever. So lie down. Take a nap if you can. Go out and take your lunch break in your car and go sit out in your car in the air conditioner or whatever, and take a little snooze 15 minutes just to try to feel better. Listen to some music. Go for a walk. I find that many times if I will get up, instead of just sitting there feeling miserable, if I would get up and go for a walk and just move around or do something productive, do the dishes or something like that, that I would start to feel better. The symptoms would subside. You know, get on YouTube and watch some videos like this one. Watch some motivational health videos, or flip through a health magazine, or read a book, you know, that motivates you, just to keep you motivated, just to get you through the process. Take a warm bath in Epsom salt. You know, you girls, I know you like your candles and all that stuff. I know I'm being gender specific. But, you know, do what relaxes you. Do what will reinvigorate you without eating. And just try to get you through. You know, I heard one person who said that she bought herself an outfit that was a size too small while she was going through the first week or two of fasting and transitioning. And that motivated her, I guess, to look at the wall, look at that outfit that she was going to wear as motivation. I'm not saying I want you to become shopaholics, but you know, that could work. Whatever, you know yourself better than I do. Know thyself. And figure out what works for you and just get through it, because it does get easier. All that being said, if it doesn't get easier, if you find that your headaches persist and you've gone 2 or 3 weeks, then it's time to talk to a doctor. It's time to see if there might be some underlying issue that's causing your headaches. So that's my thoughts on dealing with headaches while fasting. As I said, I've kind of moved past the point where it's really a problem. And when it is a problem, I just, you know, if I'm on a long fast, you know, my body's gotten to the point where I can go on a long fast and not really feel any hard symptoms. But when I do, you know, I suck down some mineral water, or, you know, something that's got a little bit of salt in it, but no calories, just to try to mitigate that and get me through. So that's what works for me. I'm not saying you should do it. I'm not recommending. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a biologist. I'm just a fat guy. Remember that, you guys. And eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we fast. See you next time.